This episode is sponsored by Verve. More details, including how to get yourself an ad-free 7-day trial at the end of the video. After years of hyping up the Orange Bandicoot and finally getting exactly what we've been wanting for years, I think it's time we transition over to the Purple Dragon. Crash Bandicoot was, and still is, cool and all, don't get me wrong, but Spyro was my jam. A wide and seemingly endless lineup of quirky and colorful characters, the simple joy of collecting stuff in large worlds. Well, at the time they were pretty large at least, and great soundtracks by the drummer of the Police, Stewart Copeland, as the cherry on top of 3 fantastic adventures.
You mind not interrupting me when I'm working?
They're not flawless games by any means.
Thank you for releasing me.
But I always preferred Spyro to Crash. But then something happened. You know how Naughty Dog did the Crash games that we all know and love? And then this showed up? Well, Spyro suffered the same fate. Insomniac Games may have developed the classic trilogy, but Universal is the company that had the license. After Year of the Dragon was released, the partnership came to an end, conveniently as the PS2 was coming around. So Insomniac went on to create Ratchet & Clank, a fantastic series of platformers spanning multiple consoles. Seriously, like every game in the series is great, it's awesome. And licensing shenanigans aside, it was really the right move at the time. Insomniac really didn't have any more ideas for the dragon, since he didn't have any hands. Couldn't hold anything that way. And you know what? Fair enough. But ultimately, what happened to Spyro? He did great on PS1, surely he'll be making the jump to next gen let's start the game up now, shall we? Well, first and foremost, it's time to pick a save icon. Ah yes, Hunter mid-sneeze. Perfect. We join our heroes in the middle of a huge party. Oh, pump the brakes, pump the brakes! Everyone is here celebrating the rite of passage for baby dragons, the same ones we saved in Spyro 3 actually, finally getting their Dragonfly guardians. When all of a sudden, Ripto appears! You alright there, Hunter? Now that's funny, you may be asking, didn't we submerge him in lava last time we saw him? Yes. No, they don't explain why him, Crush, or Gulp are back. They just are now, okay? You get it? Got it? Good. After an annoyingly casual conversation that goes on for what feels like forever, featuring Ripto's terrifying mouth movements, the evil sorcerer scatters the dragonflies all throughout the dragon realms, so the baby dragons can't have them and harness any of their power. And that includes Sparks. He's gone now. This could actually be kinda cool, starting off your adventure searching for your best friend. Oh, never mind. There he is. He was like 5 feet away. Good job, Ripto. You goofed up! Then the adventure begins, and to be fair, it's looking solid so far. Running around, flaming sheep, collecting gems. It's Spyro gameplay alright, and it looks pretty great too. The jump to a new generation really shows with the bright and vibrant colors this series is known for, looking sharper than ever. The soundtrack is great as well. Stewart Copeland returns, and while it's not as good as the original trilogy, it still gives off that really awesome Spyro vibe. And this time the main collectibles are, of course, the dragonflies. But you can't simply collect them, you have to swap over to your bubble breath and encase them in a bubble, which somehow teleports them, I don't know, to somewhere, I guess. And this is sort of the main gimmick of the game. Throughout the adventure, Spyro gets access to a few different elemental breaths. Of course, there's fire, I already mentioned bubble, and there's also ice and electric. And capturing the collectible as opposed to just touching it may sound weird, but I mean, Ape Escape did it. Why not Spyro? But you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's continue this tutorial here with our good old buddy Hunter. Hunter, away! Alright, let's move on to the bad stuff. Oh god, where to begin? Despite looking like the Spyro we're used to, no. For one, the game runs horribly. The frame rate is constantly chugging along, and even when it does run decently, it doesn't even matter. Spyro just feels off. I never really felt like I was in full control of him. I was only kinda guiding him along. Jumps are harder to nail, charging into enemies is simply not as smooth as it should be, using the bubble breath is way more annoying than it has any right to be, and sometimes he'll just... You alright there, mate? Or, you know, he could just outright stop moving altogether. I swear, right now I am pressing every single button I can here. He just stopped moving. Cool. There's also this new wing shield move that's only useful in one level, and it's absolutely hell to control. I'm trying to aim at this one guy, and looking at him dead on doesn't mean I'm gonna get a perfect shot at him. Oz bad. Or maybe the entire world can glitch out of existence. Nothing out of the ordinary here. To be honest though, if the game did run at a smooth 60 frames per second with no glitches, it wouldn't really make that much of a difference because I don't know if the developers could have been any lazier when they were making this game. This somewhat interesting Dragon Realms hub world, it is the only one in the game, and it is home to only 8 levels. That's it. The originals, all 3 of them, had at least triple that. And they're really not even all that fun to explore either. They all feel exactly the same. You run in a straight line, dealing with a couple of unique obstacles like here's some water, here are some platforms, the usual stuff. There's some sort of variation of these small enemies that you can only charge and the big enemies that you can only flame. And then you reach the end, where you can open a door that leads back to the start of the level, so it's just one big circle. And I swear, all 8 of the levels are structured the same way. And yeah, there are dragonflies to get along the way, but they're just not satisfying to collect at all. Remember when I brought up Ape Escape? Those monkeys were fun to collect because they're usually fighting you back. Some of these dragonflies are just there. And I have no idea whose job it was to give these dragonflies names, but like, what in the hell kind of name is Tashi Station? My deepest apologies to anybody out there named Tashi Station. It's a very weird name, okay? And what's either funny or sad, I can't really tell. Sometimes the game will just straight up lie to you.
Hey, it's Karen.
Really now? Okay. And the minigames that you can do are just dreadful. Lovely combinations of terrible controls, annoying repetition, and UFOs that just won't let me get the cow. Stop shooting at me! Spyro became kinda known for its fun and varied minigames, but man, these are just bad. And the speedways, one of the series' most distinguished features, got relegated to another minigame that you find randomly in some of the levels. Couldn't even be bothered giving them their own portals. But I mean, they're fine, I guess. They're naturally going to be kind of enjoyable, but Sparks just straight up tells you which order to get all of the items. Well, there goes any bit of challenge. And let me talk about the sound design a little bit here. It's terrible as well. Sometimes sound effects just won't play. This pig character just straight up uses the professor's voice from the PS1 games.
Aha! My pencil!
And sometimes a character's voice is completely off from the noises that they make after they finish speaking.
Egads! Thank you, Spyro!
Aw, dude, it's Bartholomew, an actual returning character. That's pretty cool. It's not like the game celebrates a returning character. He doesn't mention Bentley at all, which is how we know him in the first place, but alright, I mean, he certainly seems happy to be here at least. Moneybags shows up too. Once. He only shows up once, takes a few gems, and that's it. He never shows up again throughout the entire game. The same goes for Bianca. The opening and closing cutscenes aside, she shows up at the beginning of the game, talks to Spyro a bit. That's it. Why even bring them back in the first place? But fine, I've ranted long enough. Let's move on. I did end up collecting everything in the game. My sanity be damned. It is time to tackle Ripto. Not his henchman, though. Midway through the game, a cutscene plays where Ripto, I guess, kills them? I mean, he zaps them, and we never see them again, so I think he just murdered them. Alright, moving on. And the fight is so stupid easy. You chase him for a bit and hit him with the flame breath. He gets bigger for some reason. You do the same thing with the ice breath. He turns into this thing. You zap his scepter with electricity a couple times. Done. I mean, you could have at least let me capture him in a bubble. I mean, that would have been funny at least, but oh man, I'm thinking too ambitious for this game. And honestly, guys, maybe I'm just a sick person, but other than that, I really have no idea why I went through all of the trouble 100%ing this game, when you can seriously just start the game, ground pound this right spot, you go into the fight against Ripto, and you beat him because it's only his first form, and you can do that all in less than 5 minutes. The current world record is just over 1. It's a quality game. And all you get for beating the game to 100% completion is an extra cutscene where the main characters banter, Spyro winks at you, and the same exact credit sequence play. God, this game sucks. Enter the Dragonfly looks and sounds fine for the most part, but it plays below average. What you do play is terrible, and how much of the game there is to play is embarrassing. Though I guess it is better that the game doesn't overstay its welcome. Apparently, it was supposed to have much more content though. The story was gonna have a lot more to it, with Ripto joining forces with Nasty Nork, which would have been great fan service. There was gonna be more levels and a total of 120 Dragonflies as opposed to 90, and also a solid frame rate with less glitches. But Universal forced the developers to finish the game by that holiday season. Oh, beautiful, the game was rushed. So, bottom line, I don't care if you want more Spyro the Dragon in your life or not. This game is simply not worth your time. You know what is, though? All of the sweet content that you can get on Verve. Man, I am new to the whole sponsorship thing, but I am nailing these segues. If you don't know, Verve is a service available on PS4, Xbox One, iOS, and Android, combining content from channels such as Funimation, Crunchyroll, Cartoon Hangover, and more. So, you can watch Attack on Titan Season 2, subbed on Crunchyroll, or dubbed on Funimation, and it's all within the same service. Or, my recommendation, My Hero Academia. It's so damn good, you guys. And not even just anime. You can watch content like Rooster Teeth's Ruby or Cartoon Hangover's Bee and Puppy Cat. Basically, it is a super sweet service, and if you click the link in the description below, you can get a free 7-day ad-free trial of their combo pack, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Huge thank you to the guys over at Verve for allowing me to talk about the service once again. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't legitimately think it was super cool. So once again, check the link down below to give yourself a free 7-day ad-free trial of their combo pack. It is totally worth it. You're gonna need something to watch anyway until we get more Spyro the Dragon stuff. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. You just gotta wait for it. It's coming!